Just over 1 year ago, an island emerged off the Sword Coast, and as it rose, portals appeared all over Toril. Shadowy monsters surged through these portals, attacking anything that got in their way. Everywhere the monsters rose, people stood up to slay them, but as every shadow was destroyed, more just sprung up from their place. Amidst this chaos, we focus on 4 particular stories. We flash to the heart of Baldur's Gate, where we see a young noble fighting against these creatures, flail at his side, swiping through one after another, beckoning the beast to attack him in place of the defenseless innocents. Sir Remington Silvershield makes his stand to protect anyone he can or to die trying. Little does he know that on the other side of Baldur's Gate, another fighter is striking down these monsters with his own bare fists. Sigurd Lestrong is always looking to test his mettle, and seeing wave after wave of these creatures is just the opportunity he wanted. As his fists make contact with these creatures and they burst into specks of darkness, they reform simply for him to strike again and again. Each creature an opportunity for him to flex his own strength. Flashing far away to a very small town far off the heart of the Sword Coast, we see Loghain, a half-orc kineticist who is in the middle of tracking down clues to a murder, suddenly get ambushed by these creatures. As their claws begin to strike at him, he digs deep and pushes them back with powerful blasts of wind and water. Channeling these elements, he blasts through shadow after shadow, keeping himself and the few stragglers nearby as safe as he can. Finally, we will look in the tunnels and sewers beneath the city of Neverwinter, where Susan, a ratfolk who's been alive for over 100 years, guides any outcasts and strays who live in her warren to safety. Navigating the tunnels and exiting the city as their guide and guard, her priority is her chosen family first. Although some tragically fall as these creatures ambush them, thanks to Susan's guidance and kindness, more were saved than lost on this fateful day. As the heat of combat began to be unbearable, and as these brave souls began to tire and feel the weight of exhaustion, the portals closed and the shadows vanished as quickly as they appeared. Word began to spread about theories and ideas of what happened, but no one knew for sure. The only thing that was certain is that the island was still floating just off the Sword Coast, and that at its heart stood a single towering portal, the only one that remained from that day. Soon people discovered that this portal led to a far-off world, and anyone who could make their way to the island had access to a grand adventure full of mystery and intrigue. Word about what was on this new world was limited, as it seemed that the portal was a one-way trip, but the taste of curiosity and intrigue was quite powerful, and soon dozens of people had gone through. Eventually, an organization headed by some of the most powerful families on the Sword Coast, including the previously mentioned Silvershields, was founded, regulating those who could and could not go through the portal. Over the course of the past 4 months, the Portal Sanctioning Association, or PSA, let various groups with various purposes through, with the intent for them to build a camp for the future travelers and eventually establish a settlement. This is where we open our campaign, on this island that arose amidst the chaos, now named the Island of New Beginnings. Here, the 4 individuals we focused on earlier have gathered together to be the newest group of travelers to go through to this new world. As Remington, now going by Augie, Loghain, Sigurd, and Susan meet, they exchange quaint pleasantries, while Otto, Susan's raccoon-like familiar, slips away to snag some extra supplies. The group gets a rundown of key points, namely that they will assume all risk of death should anything happen in the new world. They're all given one final chance to step back, but none of them take it. Boldly stepping through the portal, they emerge to find themselves in the heart of the camp, and quickly meet the other residents. This is where Unit 42's story begins. I hope you enjoy.